You made it back! Welcome back to Life Group. I hope your first week was excellent. As we're praying for it, I can't wait to hear all the awesome stories. Now, we're going to jump right back into our study of the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And just a reminder, I am just skimming the surface of these next 3 chapters here. So I'd highly encourage that you go back and read to dig deeper if you'd like to. But if you didn't get to read this week, I got you. I'll give you the key main ideas. So last week, we looked at the author's journey. He realized his life was full of busyness, that he felt half alive and he felt half dead. And he thought reflectively, what will my life be like? Who will I become? Will I be happy with that person if I keep up this pace of life? How will my relationship with my kids be? With my wife? But most importantly, how will my devotion, how will my relationship be with God? We also talked about the beauty of Jesus' divine invitation for believers to be disciples, or as John Mark calls them, apprentices, to learn from Jesus here and now, to become the person he desires us to be. You see, in chapters 1 through 3, Comer points out one of the biggest hurdles that stands in our way of true apprenticeship to Jesus. And you know what's funny? Not haha, but like funny, okay. It's not doubt, and it's not weakness. What's the biggest barrier in our way? It's the constant pull of hurry. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you a couple questions here. Where do you see hurry showing up in your own life? Does it feel like a season, or does it feel like an ocean that you're continually drowning? You're like, when will this end? Well, you see, in chapter 1, John Mark Comer tells you right away how he views hurry. In the very title of his first chapter, he gives away his answer. He says this: hurry, the great enemy of spiritual life. Why? Well, he quoted Corrie ten Boom. She said, if the devil can't make you sin, he'll make you busy. And commenting on her quote, he says this: there's truth in that. Both sin and busyness have the exact same effect. They cut off your connection to God, to other people, and even your own soul. So John Mark Comer wrote that the effects of hurry are serious. But then he comments that being busy isn't just reserved for CEOs or for students, but experienced by every nationality. He wrote, it's experienced by every ethnicity, gender, stage in life, and even class. Now, look at this. Being busy is not completely bad. It can mean that we're giving our time to what matters. Think of a new mom and new dad with a newborn baby, right? Like, oh, I'm so busy with the baby. That's not bad. That's normal, okay? See, the problem comes when we're overloaded and when the only way to keep up is to hurry. That's when our soul starts to suffer. So the author makes the case of why hurry is not bad, but he listed it as an enemy to yourself, to others, and ultimately to your spiritual life. He wrote, do you see what's at stake here? It's not just our emotional health that is under threat, as if that's not enough. We move so fast through life that we're stressed out, on edge, quick to snap at our spouses or kids. Sure, that's true, but even more terrifying, our spiritual lives hang in the balance. So if the concept of hurry is this dangerous to be considered an enemy of our souls, how did we even get here? Well, in chapter 2, John Mark, he traces the problem back through history, and this is so awesome. You should totally check out this chapter, showing how inventions that were meant to help save humanity time, to be more efficient, has actually trained us to live at a frantic pace. Here's some honorable mentions. You're going to love it. You see, back in 200 BC, he wrote about the invention of the Roman sundial, how they're able to finally tell time in a way. But then in 1370, the first public clock was displayed in Germany. Now, before this, the rhythm of a person's day went with the sun. That if the sun comes up, so are you. And when the sun goes down, time for bed. And so with the clock, now a person had the first time to work from 9 to 5. I love this quote. He said this, "When the sun set our rhythms of work and rest, it did so under the control of God, but the clock is under the control of the employer, a far more demanding master." Oh, I think I heard a couple amens. Okay. But then in 1879, Edison invented the light bulb, and it made it possible for people to stay up past sunset. Comer remarked that before this invention, guess what? People slept for an average of 11 hours. Collective eye roll. Am I right? Okay. So more inventions were created that were meant to help save humanity time. From the printing press to planes, trains, and automobiles. So with all this new time now, even the refrigerator, right? With all this time, we don't have to hunt our food. What did we do with our time? Comer says, we spent it on other things. He continued, our culture never seemed to slow down long enough to ask, what will this new pace of life do to our souls? But then fast forward through history, the internet happened, right? Al Gore said, I'm going to invent it. Just kidding. Okay. But then combined in 2007 with the release of the iPhone. Now look at this, okay? This tool right here was created to help navigate, take pictures, to entertain, and oh yeah, be used as a phone. But then it started to monopolize people's time and attention. Notifications start popping up, endless scrolling. It's called now doom scrolling. Instant access to entertainment or news. It keeps us on all the time. That this doesn't just occupy our minutes, but it reshapes our hearts and minds, making us restless, distracted, and unable to be still. So Comer mentioned a really cool few studies. He said this. By the time that he wrote this book, he said, how much an average person touches their phone is about 2,617 times a day, just touching their phone. That's it. But then he said, people spend about 2.5 hours on their phone at the time that he wrote the book. Now, I did a little bit more research. I said, okay, what's the average time that people spend on their phones in 2025? And look what I got. In the US, many people spend 5 hours and 16 minutes per day on their phones. Now, mix that with TV, internet, and your phone. The worldwide average is this, 6 hours and 38 minutes in total per day. All the studies conclude that we have used the time that we were given with the advancement of technology. We don't have to hunt. We don't have to store food. We don't have to farm food. I don't, right? What do we do with that? Doom scroll. What do we do with that? Entertain ourselves? We're not really efficient with it. In exchange, we have given up our time, our focus, in some cases, our self-worth. I didn't get a like on my picture. I didn't get a like on that posting. Man, I'm no good. I'm not smart as other people, or comparing yourself to other people on Instagram. But also, it's in fact impacted our thinking capacity. He wrote this, the problem is, even if we realize and admit that we have a digital addiction, it's an addiction. Our willpower doesn't stand a chance against the like button. Are you feeling guilty? Good. Kind of. There's grace. This is just pointing out some areas in our lives. So stick with me. So what began as tools to help save us time has enslaved our time. Instead of giving us margin, they have filled us with restlessness. And that's what Comer names in chapter 3. He says this, you may, especially with all these digital addictions, you may have hurry sickness. It's not just busyness anymore. It's a condition of the soul. So in chapter 3, check out pages 48 through 52, where he lists the symptoms that can reveal if you have hurry sickness. I'm going to go over it real quick, but let's see if you have it. Ready? Here we go. Number 1, irritability. You get mad or annoyed too easily. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Why? Because you're playing video games all night. Why? Because you're binge watching Netflix. Why? You could fill in the blank. You're just so irritable all the time. Number 2, hypersensitivity. Oh, it's a big one. A minor comment hurts your feelings. Oh man, I posted something on Facebook. Oh man, I posted and someone disagreed with me. Oh my gosh, I gotta unfriend them all, right? Okay. A complaint in the form of an email or a comment can ruin your day. Minor things become major annoyances. Number 3, restlessness. When you try to slow down, you can't relax, right? You try to read, it's too boring. You try to slow down your thoughts and you try to focus on Jesus, but you just can't focus. But this is what you can do though, right? You can multitask. You can watch TV while you're scrolling on your phone and you're folding laundry at the same time. But you can't slow down. Restlessness. Number 4, workaholism. Whew, okay. Non-stop activity. You just can't stop. Your drug of choice is accomplishment. You work so hard that by the end of the day, you have nothing left to give to your family except the scraps that you have remaining. Number 5, you may have hurry sickness if you have emotional numbness. You have no capacity for anyone's pain, and you live in a constant fog. Number 6, you have out of order priorities. You're disconnected from your calling and from your identity. You're too busy, but never completing something because something else always comes up that takes priority. I'm always trying to play catch up. I'm always trying to get things done. I'm never able to finish. Oh, this is a big one. Lack of care of your body. You just don't have the time. I don't have the time to cook a healthy meal. I don't have time to go to the grocery store and get a healthy meal, right? You're too busy. And so you live off the 4 horsemen. Oh, I know. Once again, I feel like I'm talking to myself. Ready? The 4 horsemen. Caffeine, sugar, processed carbs, not me, but whoever, right? And alcohol. The 4 horsemen. Escapist behaviors. You're too tired to do activities that actually bring life. Instead of studying and digging deeper, you turn to distraction of choice, whether it be overeating, overdrinking, binge watching, anything just to escape. Number 9, slippage of spiritual disciplines. You're too tired. You're too busy, no energy to read the Bible or pray. And you just say this, if I just read, I'm going to fall asleep. If I pray, I'm out. If I lay down sleeping, I just knock out, right? Okay. And number 10, this is how you know you have hurry sickness. Isolation. You feel disconnected to God. You feel so disconnected to others. And you feel so disconnected to your very own soul. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely see a lot of these symptoms in my life. The goal of this exercise isn't to shame us, but to show us the warning lights that are flashing. Comer said this, hurry is a threat not only to our emotional health, but to our spiritual lives as well. Others would use stronger language saying that it's violent. He continues on, he says this, hurry kills relationships. Love takes time. Hurry doesn't have it. It kills joy, gratitude, and appreciation. People in a rush don't have time to enter the goodness of the moment. It kills wisdom. Wisdom is down in the quiet, the slow. Hurry kills what we hold dear. Spirituality, health, marriage, family, thoughtful work, creativity, generosity. Hurry is a sociopathic predator loose in our society. So the point of this lesson was to point out the problem that many of us experience and that has gone unnoticed probably for the majority of your life. So if we desire to live the life that God desires for us to live, it's one that's not based on hurry, but living in the presence of God, going at His pace and enjoying Him, others, and the life that He intended. He said this in Psalm 46, verse 10, be still and know that I am God. So what's the solution? I love it. On page 19, he quoted Dallas Willard and he said this: you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. So the next lessons will help us focus on the solution that we can actually practically apply in our lives today. So I pray that the Lord will bless your conversations and that once again, you'll experience God's grace. All right, God, I see the warning lights. My life is not done. You haven't left me. You haven't given up on me. But let's take a step together. Father, bless their conversations. Bless their time. Thank you so much, Lord, for your divine invitation to be your apprentices. In Jesus' name, amen.